All
Let's go.
right. Welcome back, everyone, to season 6, episode 2 of the What Is My Life podcast. I have myself and my sister Courtney here.
Hello, y'all. It's Court.
And I know you may be thinking this is a little weird, right? Why are there only two of them? Like, this is a podcast of 5 bitches. What's going on? You are listening to a micro episode. So, micro episodes are really a system that we built to prevent burnout because there's so many of us and so many schedules to put together. It can start to feel like a chore when you do a podcast like this. We've been doing this for a while. So, we create these micro episodes where you'll hear one of us and a guest, or just one of us, a few of us. It'll be a nice little mix up. But it also gives you all just a different vibe and see a different energy, like how smaller groups of us work together and communicate together, which I think is pretty cool too. So get used to that. Before we jump in, even though the girls aren't here, we have to acknowledge them, right? Okay.
Yes.
So, shout out to Reese. She wasn't able to make it today, but life be life, and that's all right. And of course, we have to give a huge shout out to our girls, Tasia and Ameera, whose birthdays are Wednesday and today. So Ameera's birthday was Wednesday, and Tasia's birthday is today. So air horns for her.
Go Aquarius, go Aquarius, go.
Yes. And this is the air sign supremacy. Okay, so we're all about the air sign vibes. And today you get a taste of kind of the, what do I say, the new flow of our episodes are going to be like. However, our flow today was impeded significantly.
Oh, God.
So, what we wanted to give you was a What Is My Life moment, which we got from our guest, but we're going to actually just tell you what happened. Yeah, we tried to record this episode before, and Spirit Universe, whoever we pissed off this week, said no thank you. And we had a nice little What Is My Life moment from our guest, Imani, who you'll hear from later in this segment. But yeah, that shit just didn't work out. So there's that.
And it's real sad because I was like, Mercury got to be in retrograde the way that this technology is acting up, and it's quite literally not.
No.
It's not, y'all.
As our good sis said, we're in the shadow period, and it was funny because when we were recording, I literally asked, like, do shit be happening? And then my video went out as soon as I did that. It was really freaky timing. So I forgot to explain, but the What Is My Life moment or story, again, we are playing with names for these sections, guys. So if they have different titles, y'all want to suggest us, let us know. These are really the personal stories about the crazy shit that happens to us and really make us wonder what the hell's going on and feel like it's like you want to ask, is somebody pulling my puppet strings? Like somebody up there pressing buttons and making crazy shit happen to me.
God. Like this can't be my life. Like this can't be my reality.
It cannot. What did I do to deserve this?
And the simulation.
It's got to be. Someone's pressing buttons. It has to be. So yeah, we also want to take some of these moments from you guys. Of course, there'll be stories rotated between us as your hosts. But if you want to send in a What Is My Life moment, please email wiml.thepodcast@gmail.com. I don't know why it's so hard to let out my mouth. I think my brain wants to say Wimmel. But yes, that's wiml.thepodcast@gmail.com. So.
And if you're seeing this on social media, I mean, you can always DM us. Hopefully we read it, but that's always an option for now because, we're going to blow up later and it's going to need to be email.
You feel me?
But for now, you can email us or DM us. I feel like it should be like the WTF, what the fuck moment.
What the fuck moment? We need to write that down. Write that down.
Write that down. What? We're going to keep having technical difficulties, y'all, because that's just life. Okay?
And I asked for covering before that episode started. I did. I asked Spirit Universe, God, my mama. I asked for covering. And you know what? We're going to have to talk about this later. Okay? Because that was rude. That was really rude. Like, if y'all don't want us to do the podcast, just say that. Don't be giving us all these spiritual, messages and signs about how affirmations be. Don't be giving us all that. If you don't want us to do the podcast, just say that. We're going to do it anyway. But still. Yeah, so Courtney, you want to talk about what's going to happen? I guess we're putting an experience in a second in the episode.
what we gonna experience in a second. The next
Yes.
thing that we are gonna experience, y'all, is the shit you should know. Right? That's what. Okay. Okay. Great. Sorry, y'all. The shit you should know. That's our next segment. It was formerly known as Timeline T, but it's pretty much basically just things going on in our communities and in the world that impact us, that entertain us, or help us to keep informed. Okay, because it might be some funny shit, it might be some serious shit. Either way, we gotta let y'all know what's going on. And again, we are working on these names. So again, if you have any suggestions, email us wimble.thepodcast or DM us at What Is My Life the Pod on Insta and TikTok. But yeah, let's get into it.
You will hear our guest in this segment, and just know that you'll be reintroduced to her later in the episode. Okay?
Oh yeah, our guest Imani. So yeah, sorry about that, y'all. It's we piecing this together, so it's also a little confusing as to what we did and did not talk about. So if you hear some repetition, please be gracious. Okay, this is only episode 2. We just got back. We've been on break for a long time, y'all, and using new software and all that good stuff. So
okay, trying to finesse. That's what it is. That's why we got the experience we have trying to finesse.
Talk about it.
If y'all want to sponsor us, a year membership of podcasting, if y'all want to crowdsource the funding together, please do, because we enjoy this platform. Y'all like this platform based on what y'all have told us, and talk to us very strongly when we disappeared. So, yeah. Enjoy the episode, kids.
Hey, see you later. Be back.
Anyway, so thank you for that What Is My Life moment, Imani. We're going to move into shit you should know. You may be asking, what is shit you should know? It is what Timeline T used to be called, okay? It is the new revamped baddie, okay? Like me and my sis here with the new hair. It's Timeline T with the new wig.
Okay, the new wig, period.
Listen, and it's just really just about us communicating to y'all, talking to y'all about what's going on in our community, specifically in the world, how these things impact us. We also want to give y'all a little entertainment because it's not going to always be very serious. But we're going to make sure that our people is informed, that we're not just yapping, that we're giving y'all something of value. So, Courtney, what you bringing to us today in the Shit You Should Know segment?
Okay, so today on the Shit You Should Know segment, I am talking about elections because, baby, guess what? The election you thought ended, you thought was over in November 2024, but, baby, there are more this year, okay? And I need to let y'all know, okay? Election season is not over. Okay, so there are a few elections coming up in 2025, okay? And they started in January, okay, in Virginia.
I think we just had one this week in Wisconsin, I want to say. Don't quote me. We have something this week.
It looks like your Wisconsin one is February 18th, okay? For my Wisconsin folks, because I know it's hella y'all, okay, because we all used to live there. February 18th, y'all is voting for your Supreme Court. Niggas. Okay. April, there's some more in Florida, some more in Wisconsin, okay, New Jersey, Pennsylvania. I'm just going to list off these places so y'all just flag yourselves. And I can share the article too. Yes. New York, and then in June, and then in November. But the point I want to make by sharing this is that niggas didn't even register for this November election, and I get why some of y'all didn't vote. But this election's coming up, like, for example, the Supreme Court in Wisconsin is super important. Like, those things are what goes to the actual Supreme Court in Washington. So it's really important. But y'all need to check your voter registration because there are deadlines before these elections. That's all I'm going to say, okay? Make sure you check out if your state got a local election or your city got an election coming up. Make sure you're registered to vote. And if you, because these are primaries, you got to pick a political party if you want to vote. Now, I know that's tough. Some of us want to be independents.
We get it.
Okay? But in order for you to vote, you got to pick a nigga. You got to pick a side. So please, just pick your side. If you want to be a Republican, nigga, go off. But you can vote for a Democrat. It don't fucking matter. But just pick a side so you can fucking vote with these upcoming elections. Okay, y'all? Because it's important. It do matter. Even though it feel like it don't. I know. I feel the same way. But it do.
You know, I mean, me personally, I don't put all my faith in politicians. But that also doesn't mean that you kind of just opt out. In my opinion, you know, you have your own opinion, do what you want to do. But it doesn't mean that you just completely opt out when shit doesn't look like it's going your way, because sometimes the state that you're in still has some power to make some decisions and influence your experience. So make sure y'all do that, okay? Do what you can.
Exactly.
And that's literally all you can do is what you can. And what you can do is vote locally and see if that makes a difference for you. But also organize locally, okay? Because
also organize mutual aid, all of that.
Go ahead, sis.
And I heard y'all got some y'all Milwaukee Board of Education niggas is being voted in too. So I know that's been a mess.
Somebody just got elected in Board of Education positions, but I can't remember who it was. It was like 3 people. I don't know if it's like superintendent or something else, but something just happened. I could stand to do better, okay? So don't take this as a finger wagging moment. This isn't TT telling you need to do something. I could stand to do better personally, locally, because those are the things that I think impact us closely. So thank you, sister, for the shit you should know. As she said, we'll share
shit
that
you should know.
once this episode comes out, just so y'all have access to that, so you can prepare and be informed, active, if that's your choice. We encourage you to, but ain't nobody gonna force you to do nothing.
Right. It is what it is. I get it.
Listen, it's a lot going on. We only do what we can. So, getting into the meat and potatoes of this thing, we're gonna take y'all over to the Wimmel discussion, the What Is My Life discussion, where we really just want to break down like some of those What Is My Life moments, related or not to our What Is My Life moment from earlier, but really just give y'all more in-depth conversation about some of these topics and allow you to, learn some lessons from some folks, because I believe you can learn from people all around you. They don't have to be in the same career landscape as you. You don't have to have the same income. They don't have to have the same background. Like, you learn people all around you. You don't have to necessarily be a licensed psychologist to, have expertise. So yeah, we're gonna get into the meat and potatoes and again bring my girl Imani back to the front stage and really just talk about what does caring for self mean when you have to let people go, even if it breaks your heart, which a lot of us can relate to. I know I can. Okay, having to let people go because they're no longer good for you, regardless of who that is, even though it's heartbreaking, can sometimes be necessary. So let's get into it. Imani, did you want to give us like a little short intro? We've been talking and yapping with you for the last couple of minutes, but you want to do a little short intro? Tell
who are you?
Yeah, okay, so short introduction. So my name is Imani. Let's see here. I currently have a spiritual health and wellness business, and so I like to talk about a little bit of mental health, definitely spiritual health, and a lot of the times I've noticed my mission has kind of shifted to bringing a lot of our Black practices, because I've noticed spirituality has been very colonized, and so I have found recently that my mission is to bring a lot of the spiritual practices into the Black community and be like, hey, this is our stuff, this is what we do, they got this from us. But nonetheless though, I would like to call myself a guide or a facilitator of healing. I'm currently training to be a shaman, so there's that. So yeah, that's kind of my mission so far. And I'm an herbalist and a sound healing practitioner, so I
know herbalist.
Yes, I just do a lot of things, so
listen, yeah. I wish Ameera was here this episode, because she's our resident spiritual girly. Could have a little spiritual girly moment. Okay, thank you. I appreciate the intro. I put a pause there because I'm about to do an unnatural cut. I'm about to try to log into my iPad. Can y'all hear me okay so far? Because maybe I don't have to. Okay, fuck it. All right, I'm going to get back into it. We're going to just pray. Just going to get through it and pray. Again, Courtney, if you hear my shit go mute, say something, okay? If she finished talking and I ain't saying nothing, please say something. Okay. All right, getting back into it. 3, 2. So let's jump into the meat and potatoes. Tell me a little bit more about when your concept of self-care began and what or who initially influenced it.
Okay, so my concept of self-care really started, I think I was about 19 at the time. I'm currently almost 28 right now, but
wow.
It was about when I was 19, and I was I had moved out or like I was barely 20, like I had moved out on my own and I was like paying, you know, bills and doing the big girl things. And I was working like 40 plus hours in a restaurant, like, which is highly not recommended. Don't do that. Don't do that. But I was working so much because the bills had to get paid and I was, you know, doing it by myself. So, but I realized my body was like, I was getting back problems, like my feet were just so achy all the time. So I started getting massages. And also around that time too, yeah, I was either like 19 or 20. I also started seeing a shaman for energy work as well. So it was nice because I started to realize that like, hey, when I like don't go to work and I take care of myself, I was like, wow, I actually feel better. I feel revitalized. Like I was like, oh my goodness, is this what the girlies were talking about? So that was
baths.
yeah, that's kind of how it started. And I mean, it was very influential being in that space and be like, oh, I got a massage. I was like, I'm doing this more often. And then like some of the coworkers were like, oh, a massage, like, oh, look at you. But then I was like, hold on now, wait, we be on our feet every day, like,
Right.
like,
I don't want to feel good.
exactly, like also we making all this money because this was like a real good peak and we were making hella money. I'm like, y'all ain't gonna take 1 hour out of your day to just go get a rub down. Now me, I was booking too, but you know, you ain't gonna do it. Because one thing I got
is crazy.
but like we work all these hard hours ripping and running, like damn, like you ain't trying to get your body rubbed, like just, you know, at least once a month something. So that kind of put a lot of things into perspective about how a lot of people don't take care of themselves. And I was like, oh yeah, and they cranky and miserable and bitter. I don't want to be that. So I'm gonna go ahead and keep going. And then I was doing the energy work and like taking care of like myself spiritually, and then that whole thing kind of birthed what is me now. But yeah, that was kind of how my self-care journey started.
I love that. I think it's cool to always see like what people's introduction to it is, because I think you alluded to it earlier, but a lot of times we start with the very physical definition of it, about like caring for yourself physically, whether that be like, I'm gonna take bubble baths, like that's the common discourse, right? Take a bubble bath, get some wine. But a lot of times when we really get deeper into that journey, and you start at a young age, we grow and see that it means so much more than just the physical. So can you talk more about how your self-care evolved over time? Like it started as this more physical thing, and thankfully you realized so long that so young that was important. Like you'd be surprised when people just don't take care of themselves and they have very physical jobs. But how did that definition evolve over time to either become, as you said, more spiritual or more mental, or whatever the case may be?
Yeah, so I guess to give the quick spark note version, so I did start with massages and the energy work, and then I started doing like unpacking childhood trauma and all that other stuff, and like really realizing how my past was affecting me now. And so that also evolved, and I started getting deeper into spirituality to really like try to get some answers and to better understand myself. And but as like that has grown, I've realized in a lot of ways, even like the adults around me, like it has evolved into now my self-care has turned into, this is a lifestyle, this is every day. Actually, specifically this chapter for me is about discipline being self-care, because I have to take care of myself like as an everyday thing. It can't be like once a month I go and get a massage. It's every day. Like, am I stretching? Am I eating well? Am I going to the gym like I'm supposed to? Oh, you know, even like mental health and other things. Like, I can't keep complaining of, you know, that I want a summer body and I'm just still eating these chips and stuff on the couch. I gotta, you know, I'm notorious for, I'll eat the chips now and then go to the gym. I'm not gonna stop eating, but
balance. It's all about balance.
Exactly. Balance. Exactly. So now I'm recognizing that self-care is every day, even if it's small, and I'm now grasping the power in just taking care of yourself just a little bit every day makes such a big difference. And it doesn't have to be a big ordeal where I have to take the full day off and, go and go get my Brazilian wax, go get a massage, take myself out for lunch, and then go out later with the girlies for like Top Shelf Tuesday. This is back when I used to drink. But
She said, I'm describing my real life, actually.
no, that actually was my real life, because I would take off of work and I'd be like, okay, I got a Brazilian, I got a massage, I'm finna go get some food, I'm finna do this, that, and the other. And it would be like, and I still want to get back to those moments, which is why I'm trying to get the money up, because I'm not gonna lie, I miss my girl Andrea, I miss my girl Annalyn, but but even just now, I'm recognizing that every day is a practice. And there's actually, and one of my mentors reminded me of during ceremony when I was training for a ceremony, but everything you do is ceremony. Everything you do is a ritual. And it's a matter of what kind of ritual do you want to create? Do you want to be a good one or a bad one? So it's kind of, do you want it to help you flourish and nourish yourself, or is it going to be to your detriment? So that's kind of where my self-care practice has evolved to now.
That's good. That's good. Can you speak a little bit? I have wrote down the words discipline and everyday practice based on what you said. Can you speak a little bit to what that transition looked like from it being like this big grand thing, where it's like I have to get these massages? Like, how did it become more everyday? Like, what are those practices that you do every day that makes it more accessible for you?
Yeah, so my massage therapist actually barked at me about this too. And when you get these services too, you have to remember maintenance, discipline. She's massaging my body for 2 hours. I'm getting the hot stones and the cupping and the gua sha and all this other stuff. But it doesn't even matter if I'm not properly hydrating myself, because then I'm just going to create even more sore muscles. It's not going to matter if I'm not stretching those muscles to make sure that they don't lock back up again. Even when it came to me working in a restaurant, am I wearing the proper shoes? Am I, like those little things, in terms of discipline, I realized that discipline is, for me right now, it's the same thing as maintenance. Like taking care of your car. Either you get the oil change every 3,000 miles, or you get a new engine every 2 years. Right. So which one is it? Yep. So
that's good. That's good. Yeah. So let me just harp really quickly on shoes. Okay, now that I am in my 30s, I have discovered that shoes are very important. We used to go outside with little flat ass sandals every day and tear your knees up and tighten your hamstrings and suck the life out of your IT band, Get you some good shoes. Get you some Asics, okay? Get you something that's going to support you, especially if you're on your feet all the time, because you don't realize how much your back pain and your neck pain is related to all of that. Just a small aside. Okay, so thank you for sharing that, because I think that a lot of times when people mention the term self-care, I think it has to be these grand gestures, but it's really about, like you said, that maintenance, maintaining your car, your vessel, your temple. Can you tell me a little bit more about what self-care looks like when it comes to people? Because that's really more so, you spoke before about how it was more so within yourself and what you can do and contain yourself. What does it look like? What does self-care look like when it comes to people and maintaining or letting go of relationships?
Self-care in relationships? I would say, and some people may not like this one, but I would say the best way to practice self-care in relationships, it's always about balance, right? Because you want to be able to pour into the people that you love, you want to pour into the people that you care about. But I feel like, and this is something that I personally have, I guess, suffered from, but you get lost in the sauce of that and you forget to take care of yourself. And therefore, when you're not taking care of yourself, you're not taking the time you need for yourself, you end up being a disservice to the person that you're with, or your friendship or whatever, because you're not taking care of yourself. And if you are not showing up for your best self, for yourself, you can't really show up as your best self for others either. Kind of like the saying, my cup is for me, my overflow is for you. And so I've definitely had moments with some of these relationships that I've had to let go, where I realized that I was giving, and not receiving, not only from them, but just from myself. And I was looking to them to fill the cup that I refused to pour for myself.
Talk about it. Talk about it. Talk about it. Listen, I'm glad you said that the overflow is for you, right? Because the common phrase I'm used to is you can't pour from an empty cup. But let's be specific about, like, okay, can I fill my cup halfway and then pour? No. You cannot fill your cup halfway and then pour from it. You fill your cup completely, and then the overflow is for other people. So you mentioned a little bit about, like, relationships. Can you tell me more about, like, a time where you had to prioritize yourself in a relationship and how that might have led to you not having that relationship in your life anymore?
Yeah,
I'm
baby.
sure
Yeah, so I've been going through it with the breakup. 5-year relationship.
Real. Very real. Very real.
Yeah. The trenches is saying it lightly.
That's real. That's real.
The trenches is saying it so lightly. But in addition to that, I've realized, I think over the past, like, 5 years throughout that relationship, I lost 2 great friendships that meant a lot to me. And I kind of knew that this breakup was going to be the final straw. And it was. Yeah. So, because there were definitely a lot of reoccurring themes in all of those relationships. And so, yeah. And so I realized, too, that I was like, oh, like, I don't like that this person does that. Then we talk about it and blah, blah, blah. But I realized, too, talking to God, I'm like, hey, I don't want friends that do this, like, that doesn't make me happy. And then instead of that person changing, God was like, cool, we just gonna get them out of here. So, yeah. Yeah. So, God moved quickly with that one. So I was like, yeah. Listen, there are some prayers God will answer before you finish the word, before you finish the sentence.
People be posting about that. It'd be like, I said that prayer and all my friends disappeared. Like, damn, you didn't give me a chance.
Didn't give it a chance.
God, please remove anything from my life that's not for me. So I'm like, you need to give me a second to, like, say bye, pardon.
Yes.
Whatever.
I swear, like, I'm telling you, with, like, all those relationships in the past 5 years, I was just like, I was like, damn, which I've talked to you personally about this, Marina. I'm like, I'm tired of not being seen. I'm tired of not being heard. I want people in my life that I can relate to more, and blah, 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 blah. So God said, cool, let's get rid of these ones so you can get something else. I was like, oh, wait a minute, hold on. You're moving too fast. Literally.
Looking around like, damn, what happened?
And literally, and there was a time too, because I'd lost like those close friendships, and then there was just me and my ex, and I was like, what is, like, he is a good person, and I was like, Bob, like, what's happening? What is going on? I'm tired of being alone. And then God was like, wait, I got one more for you. And then
finish her.
But wait, there's more.
well, wait, there's more. Literally, yes, it was a full Mortal Kombat fatality.
Nigga had you climbing the goddamn Mortal Kombat ladder like, one more battle.
For real, it was
wobbly and shit.
It was really a test your might moment. It was really a test your might moment. But in those letting go of those relationships, I do realize how much they were of disservice to me, and also how detrimental they were to my growth. Because being around,
No, that's good.
Oh yeah, being around those people really made me realize the areas that I wanted to work on the most on myself were also the areas where they had failed me in our relationships, where like I wanted to work on things and grow, because some of these friendships were back from when we were teenagers and we were like in high school. So also that transition from being like a teenager to now being in late 20s, or even with my ex when we started dating in our early 20s transitioning to late 20s, that's a hell of a transition. So like yeah, and I've been growing and changing and evolving and stuff, and then in some ways they have, and in other ways they really haven't, and so it was really holding a nigga back. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm sick of these goddamn circles. So God said, "Bet we're just gonna get rid of them."
I got. Don't worry.
And I was just talking to my partner about that, of like those things that you want people to change in relationships or in friendships, they won't change.
No.
Even when you think they came back, I'll never forget, you know, that crazy nigga that Marina hated and him coming back in my life. And I'm being like, he apologized. He said he was sorry. He seems different. And then like a month, 2 months pass and it's like the same nigga. Nothing has changed. And it's like those things that caused red flags or, you know, conflict, friction, they don't change. It's really like the only thing left for you to do is to leave, because like it's going to be the same thing. And we're too young for that.
That part, because I'm like, hold on, I'm still young and sexy. Life has not stopped yet. Hold on.
Like, no.
Yeah, it was a rough patch, but you know, like, also too, you know, I've also learned too, just in relationships, you know, the whole if he wanted to, he would. Now I'm switching my mentality to what one man won't do, another one will.
And will.
You know what I'm saying?
Won't do.
Exactly. And you know what? I have found that in friendship too. Like, I have a friend that I'm really growing closer to. And like, for example, due to my past friend group, I actually started to hate hosting. I used to love hosting. Like, I have Friendsgiving and all types of stuff. And then literally I realized when I went to her house, she hosted me. And mind you, we were just coming over for like some snacks or whatever, but she made it a whole little girls moment. And I was like, I've never been hosted before.
Yeah.
I had realized in that way that I was always hosting my friends, but they never hosted me. And then it was something that was so easy and natural. I didn't even ask her to do it. I just thought we were just coming over and hanging out. And the way she hosted me, and I went home and I was like, hey, wait a damn minute. Like,
wait a damn minute.
I swear,
is
like,
this for me?
Right, because like she had the charcuterie board and everything, and like I had little drinks and snacks, and I was like, hold on.
We love a charcuterie board.
Yeah, she literally had a little charcuterie board, and I was like, no one has ever like made a charcuterie board for me before, and I wasn't even expecting this.
That's so nice.
And so, but I realized how much I'd fallen out of love with like really building relationships because of the past ones. I was like, oof. I was like, hold on, nigga, traumatized now. Like,
that'll do it.
That'll do. I swear to God.
And I'm so glad you mentioned that too, because oftentimes like we'll prioritize, oh, I've had all this time with this person, I put in this much energy with this person, I spent all this money with this person, I've all this experience with this person, but like when you stay with these people who you know aren't good for you, you forget how much you're losing, right? How much life you are taking away from yourself because you're so invested and connected to this person. You know, I was going to ask you about like the consequences of that, but you hit the nail on the head about how much you lose and sacrifice within yourself when you hold on to or hold this relationship on this pedestal. So kudos to you for learning that young. You said you're 28, right?
I will be 28 in April.
Period. You learn that young. I say young like I'm 42. I'm like that.
Right.
You know, you learn
old
that
lady.
now. Listen. Oh. You're learning that now, which I think is going to make the relationships you have in the future so much more fruitful. So I want to just wrap this little section up because you've been dropping some gems, baby. But wrap this section up with what would be like some loving advice you would give someone who is currently, I'm just gonna say it, making excuses for relationships they know they should let go of.
Okay, I'm gonna tell them. Okay, listen, I'm gonna tell you this right now because usually most of these problems are also with men. So I'm gonna just say this. Listen, I spent a year contemplating breaking up with that man before I did. I was crying about it. I was asking God. We went to therapy. We did all types of stuff. I was like, please, Lord, like let it work. No, I'm gonna say this right now. The second you get the inkling the shit ain't gonna work, it's not gonna work. All right. God already gave you the signs. The second you get that inkling and you really thinking about it and you know it's not just a little rough patch thinking about it type of moment, leave. Just leave. Or just make your exit plan at this point.
Yeah.
Because I will say I built up a lot of resentment over this time, with just all in general, especially because like I said, it was reoccurring themes with 3 different people. Like these 3 people were doing the same things to me. So... So me personally, I was tired. But I know for the most part, we be tired too. And don't wait until like you can't take anymore to leave. There is no point in that. There is no point.
Why the show Snapped exists.
Exactly. Like, don't wait until you hate them to leave them. If you already know something's not right, you already know you're not happy, don't stick around, because now you're also creating more bullshit within the relationship. Y'all could end on much better terms.
That is so true.
If you just don't wait, just be like, you know what, this isn't it for me. Maybe we can revisit later, you know. But just don't wait.
You lose so much. Yeah, and it's so much easier said than done, right? Like, we can all acknowledge that. We all can acknowledge that it's so much easier said than done. Especially if you've created, like, these deeply entrenched lives with people. Like, y'all share animals, or y'all share a home, or y'all share a car note, or a phone bill, whatever the case may be, right? Like, but I think having the faith in that better is out there is more than enough. More than going to carry you through the next season, next chapter. I'm saying shit ain't gonna hurt. Okay.
No. I cried for 40 days and 40 nights. I'm gonna say it. And I'm typically not a crier either. Like, but the amount that I've cried the past, like, 2 years, I'm like, this shit's gotta end, because this is not, this is not what I do.
That's not me.
It's not. And the fact that those relationships did bring me so far out of body, so far out of character, where now I'm sitting here stressing out, anxiety high, crying for 40 days and 40 nights. I'm like, yeah, this is not for me. Like, like, these relationships shouldn't bring me so much stress to where I'm doing all of this. It's too much.
Sure. No, good. Thank you so much, Imani. You said that so beautifully, so eloquently.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you so much. Anything else you had, Courtney, at all?
No, I think that was really good. This is just so funny because we was talking about that, me and my boo, but yeah, like, you got to free yourself. We were also, I just want to mention this really quickly, but we were also talking about how, like, people will tell you, like, oh, this person's not good for you, this partner is not good for you, and it was like, we were, like, discussing, like, does the messenger matter? And he was like, no. Yes. And he was like, the people that told me this girl wasn't good for me were my biggest haters. And I was like, well, so the messenger does matter. And so I think that's something we also need to think about. If you're hearing common themes of, like, a few niggas telling you that nigga ain't shit, baby, maybe they not hating on you, okay? Maybe they are actually seeing what you don't see, and you need to kind of open up them ears. So
that part.
That might got to be the episode title. Does the messenger matter? That's good.
Yeah.
This got me. Dude, now, even if you're my biggest hater, if you can give me valid reasons that I can see and identify, it doesn't matter the messenger. If you just like, I don't like this nigga, and you say, if I say why, and you be like, well, I just don't like him. What I'm gonna do with that? You know, if you
a hater.
What I'm gonna do with that? If you can give me something valid, the messenger don't matter unless. If you just saying you hate this nigga because you're being a hater, or like, I got a man, you don't got a man, and you mad, I mean, go ahead, Imani.
I would also say, too, the messenger does matter. And this is coming from a person whose language usually be rough as fuck, and people don't listen to a lot of what I say because my language be rough as fuck. But the messenger also do matter, too, because, like, first and foremost, sometimes the call really be coming from inside the house, and...
Because you already done told my ass before.
Exactly. But also, too, like, the messenger matters because, like, for example, like, people... Okay, so I'm going to air out some of my personal business. So, in my former relationship, people would try to project certain things onto us, right? And so, again, and this is just for the record, by the way, I don't hate him. We're friends. We're fine. We just realized we're different. But I would say his family definitely pushed certain things like children onto us, right? But mind you, they're pushing children onto us, and they're like, oh, like, you know, like, oh, I want grandkids and stuff, and I'm just like, oh no, I want a ring first. And then his family would look at me like I'm crazy because I said I wanted a ring first. But mind you,
and you're not. But
mind you, this is also coming from a family of baby mamas in broken homes, so it's also like the messenger does matter because you telling me that I should have kids, and then a person who is like in a happy marriage and living a happy life with their husband and kids, and them saying that I should have kids, I feel like that's just two different things. Even though the people with even the people with kids and a happy marriage, they still be like, don't do it. But
Yeah, them gonna be the niggas that tell you don't do it.
that part, because even the married people be like, they're like, I love my kids, my marriage is great, don't do it. And I just be like,
Listen, imagine having to do the breakup with a child. Like, that's a whole nother level. That's a whole nother level.
I thank God every day I got away kid free.
Also, you need some motivation to leave that nigga. Leave him before you have a baby. Okay?
Exactly.
Imagine having to tell your baby, hey, we moving out or we leave it. Like, that's a whole nother level of chaos and stress for you as a person. No shade to the baby mamas and baby daddies. No shade to y'all. Y'all are doing the shit, okay? But that shit that's a lot of work. That's a lot of work. The steward a little woman through that kind of transition, that is not easy at all.
Yes, it's not. It's not. I got a taste from that when I was younger. I'm a parentified eldest daughter, so I got a taste of parenthood. I'm good. That was more than enough for me.
The second mother, you feel
heavy on the second mother.
I was gonna say too. In addition to the messenger mattering, I think it also matters how the message is delivered. Like, are you giving this to me with love, or are you just being like, "You dumb bitch"? Like, because I've done both. Okay.
I will say the tough love do be there. The tough love do be there.
Oh God, because sometimes you got to hear it how it come, but also I ain't gonna keep drilling if you're not gonna listen. Like, I'm gonna just let it go, bro. You'll find out in your own time. I definitely believe in it. I'm gonna say and speak my piece because I don't want to be like the person after, like, I was gonna tell you. No, you wouldn't.
Yeah, because I don't want to hear that.
You are, Courtney. It was evidently clear. I hated that man.
It was.
It evidently clear.
No, and that's why I'm like, every time I'm like, yeah, Marina told me, and I was gladly ignoring her, like being like, Marina, it's fine, like, he's fine, like, we're having so much fun, babes, like, you don't even know Marina. And it wasn't no hater shit, I just knew, like, especially because this was the second time, I was like, damn, she's right. So then I really started drawing back because I was like, damn, she's right. But I knew she was gonna be there when I got it together.
It was, okay, help my girl through the end of it and all, okay, and now we got a loving partner, okay?
Yeah.
Period.
Imagine still being with that fucktard. Anyway, thank you so much again, Imani, for this very fruitful conversation and a timely reminder for people. Our last episode talked a lot about community, and this kind of in some ways ties into that, like making sure the people that are in your circle are literally for you. And I say it's going to be easy, but making sure that they are for you and that they love you through this season. Because a lot of us are going through a lot of shit right now. Okay? So if you heard this episode and you're listening and thinking about somebody you need to let go, you might just sit and talk to God about that. Okay? You might just sit and talk to God about that. Or talk to them about that if you feel like they are a safe enough space for you to do so. Because, baby, life is too short. What y'all say? We too young. Too young and sexy.
Too young and too sexy. Too young and too sexy.
That's
to
it.
Be going through absolute bullshit. So we're going to wrap this episode with some affirmations. We're doing something a little different, y'all. Okay, nice little surprise for you. Imani actually has some cards that she can pull for us, and I am very curious to see if this is going to relate to the discussion we had. So let us know. Let us know what spirit gave you, Imani.
Let's see. Yes, and then also too, I do readings as well. I do spiritual readings. It's part of my many side hustles.
Yeah. Oh yes. Plug yourself really quickly.
Oh yes. Okay. So Instagram, One by Faith. I do personal readings, so y'all can DM me for a reading. Also too, I have tea blends, which Marina, you've actually posted about before, and I do sound healing sessions as well. You can DM me through all of that. So yes, but let's see here. Hold on one second. Let me see here. And also, as I'm talking, let me actually focus for like 2 seconds. Let's see here. Spirit, what do we need to know here? How can we end this session today?
The brain don't be braining as well as it used to back in the day. So I understand.
It don't.
I used to be able to like actually listen relatively and type at the same time. Right now it's one or the other. And Courtney is a proponent of you can't multitask anyways, but it's evident now.
Yep.
Okay. It is very evident. Okay. Dora can only do one job at a time. That's what's giving. Laura Farquaad, Dora.
Yes. Period.
If y'all watching us please watch us on YouTube, y'all. Subscribe on YouTube. You can see my Laura Farquaad. I'm the straight Dora, and then Courtney is currently the curly version of Dora.
We're always twinning.
We're twin. And Imani is representing the stage that we used to be in. We left the locks.
That I miss.
We left the lock kingdom.
We miss you.
They might see me sooner than later.
You're always welcome.
The way this back corner keep trying to revert and like stick out, I'd be like, all right, now if you don't want to be trained, just say that. Just say that.
That part. But I do
what you got first, Imani?
Yes. So this is from my Kali Ma Oracle deck. So it's based on like the goddess Kali Ma. And so this one says, you are forging your authentic path. In support of that, you shall attract great blessings that will benefit all beings. To live a spiritually and creatively self-directed life takes incredible strength and trust in yourself. Remember that the promise of your sacred success is being fulfilled through every challenge and every blessing. Trust in what you were born to accomplish. So, with that being said, yeah, thank you. And I also got other messages with that as well. So basically speaking too, because this has been a huge theme in my life as well, when you are authentically yourself, and this is something I've actually learned too throughout me losing friendships and relationships. When you are authentically yourself, you really do like attract new people that are more in alignment with who you are. Like for example, when I had started dancing with Kothi and I just wanted to like try that out, and I was like, doing that, like I ended up meeting Marina there, and I will say I'm very happy the way our friendship has been going, because there's something that like I wanted to do, I wanted to try having my own hobbies and just doing my own thing, and that blossomed new friendships. Like I've gotten new friends from doing like markets and my business and stuff, and like now like meeting y'all within the realms of just me being me, especially like not me with that man, because we were very too close at the hip. It was too much, but just me as me in my authentic self, I've realized it has like brought me the people that I really wanted to, the creative people, the people who inspire me, and the people that like can really help me with my journey, people who understand me as well, like as an entrepreneur. Like I talked to Marina about my entrepreneurship issues, because I be like, what the fuck is going on in here? Like, what the fuck is this? So yeah, so to just yes, but just remember, guys, when you are authentically being yourself, the people that are not supposed to be in your life will leave, and the people that will actually bring you closer to yourself and to your dreams and your goals will come to you.
Ashe, amen, and ashe. Yes. That was a really spirit be knowing. It tried us today technologically, but it be knowing how to wrap it up. How to put a bow on it, put a pin in it. Okay, that was almost perfect. So thank you again, Imani, for joining us for this micro episode. Sister, I think we did the damn thing today.
We did our big one, y'all. You don't know.
yeah. This show gonna be edited like hell. Sorry, Reese, you got a lot of work to do. We did the damn thing today. Thank y'all again for listening to What Is My Life Pod. I regretfully did not pull up the actual names of the socials. So if you just Google What Is My Life Pod, it should come up. Our Instagram page should come up, which I believe is actually at What Is My Life Pod. YouTube, again, Google it, because we ain't figured out the SEO for YouTube yet. What Is My Life Pod? What Is My Life, the podcast? And then we are also on the Tik Tok. Okay, we are on the Clock app. If you did not delete it in the if you were not a part of the mass exodus from the app, you were faithful like myself and stayed and knew that it was gonna come back. You can find us on TikTok. And we also have a Facebook page. And just again, if you wanted to be a part of our next episode and share a What Is My Life story or What Is My Life moment that you have, you can email us at wiml.thepodcast@gmail.com. And also, make sure you leave us a review, okay? We know, even from like moments as small as the affirmation that we just had, Imani's a guest here. She ain't been in the mix and the woo and the juju of this. But you can even see like from how these affirmations tie together so beautifully in these episodes that we're supposed to be here and doing this for some reason. We don't know why or what. And you see, we are moving with 1 or 1,000. Okay, but we're just walking in the purpose that we think is this podcast. So we always appreciate y'all support. And we can love that. We love that support to show up in the reviews. So thanks, guys. Oh, and share our shit. Okay, we see our podcast
or else.
Share our
no, I'm
shit.
just kidding.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Right. Good. Do it.
It's free and it's easy. You know, but make it authentic. Okay, if the clip don't resonate with you, don't share it. Don't even worry about it. Just be authentic.
No. Do it anyways because it'll resonate with somebody else.
Okay,
that's
it ain't always about you. It ain't always about you. So
it ain't.
It's selfish.
Thank y'all again for listening, and we will catch y'all in 2 more weeks. Okay, bye.
Ooh.